It is 11 p.m. on a Thursday, and you are currently putting maximum physical effort into making sure your baseboards are completely free of dust. Meanwhile, across the room, a blinking cursor waits on a blank document you were supposed to finish 3 days ago. If you were actually lazy, you would be asleep. Instead, you are burning through massive amounts of energy and focus right now. Your brain is actively hunting for anything to keep your conscious mind occupied. It will gladly memorize the hunting habits of emperor penguins or sort your email inbox by date just to keep you away from that primary objective. You aren't broken. Your highly evolved biological protection system is simply misfiring at the wrong target. The standard response to this behavior is to lean on planners, time blocking, or aggressive site blocking apps. These tools frequently fail within a week because they treat the symptom. Scheduling your time differently offers no help when time management is not the core issue. Researchers have found that even people with perfect schedules still procrastinate because the behavior starts with how we handle the way a task makes us feel. Fixing this behavior requires mapping the underlying emotional circuitry that drives us to evade our work in the first place. Your body possesses an ancient threat response designed for surviving apex predators, and you are currently experiencing it while sitting in a safe, quiet office. Dr. Fusha Saroy at the University of Sheffield discovered that we never actually avoid the physical work itself. We avoid the negative emotions attached to it, imposter syndrome, boredom, or the fear of turning in something mediocre. When you look at that pending assignment, the brain's threat detection center, the amygdala, intercepts those feelings and classifies them as acute physical danger. The amygdala has one primary evolutionary function: prioritize your immediate survival. It forces you to evade emotional pain at all costs. By organizing your desk instead of writing the report, your brain believes it has successfully kept you safe from a perceived threat. This biological misfire creates a closed-loop emotional circuit that traps millions of people in an escalating cycle of stress. The cycle starts at the moment you encounter the threatening task and decide to seek a distraction. That avoidance triggers an immediate neurochemical reward. Your brain logs the relief as a highly successful survival tactic, encouraging you to do it again. But the task has not vanished. It now features a tighter deadline and a heavy layer of newly generated shame. This newly added guilt multiplies the original anxiety, turning that assignment into a vastly larger emotional threat. To deal with this magnified threat, the brain's only solution is to demand even more severe avoidance, spinning the loop faster and faster. Because this is a mechanical, self-reinforcing system, willpower is rarely enough to stop it. You have to install a deliberate circuit breaker. Conventional hustle culture often fails here because it does nothing to reduce the amygdala's internal threat assessment. In 2012, researchers found that students who forgave themselves for procrastinating on a midterm actually procrastinated significantly less on their final exams. Removing the shame from your past failures acts as a tactical emotional regulator. Self-compassion directly lowers the threat level, starving the doom loop of the guilt it uses for fuel. Think of self-compassion as a rigorous mechanical override for a biological system in distress. The highest point of emotional friction is localized to the 30 seconds immediately before you initiate a task. Neuroscience calls this the Zeigarnik effect, a quirk where the brain experiences discomfort until a started process is brought to completion. You can trigger this by lowering the barrier to entry so drastically that the action sneaks past the amygdala. Instead of writing the report, your only goal is to open the file. Label that sudden urge to scroll as a signal of an emotion your brain hasn't learned to process yet. To short-circuit the architecture of procrastination, forgive the BTOR, bypass the threat response with an impossibly small start, and simply open the file.
And that's a wrap on today's video. At Wired This Way, we take one topic every week: psychology, science, history, economics, technology. Add like, share, and subscribe to Wired This Way.